Alrighty, we are here on episode 1 of a very special series. We are going to be entering NukaWorld at level 1. Now, I know some people have done this before, but I haven't, and I have a few extra rules on top of it that I am implementing. So let's get to these rules, shall we? First of all, the difficulty is going to be hard, but not survival. While I love survival in a normal playthrough, I figure surviving Nuka World is going to be a challenge in itself. Next, I must get to Nuka World, the Nuka World tram, before leveling up whatsoever. Now, this means no perk saving. I'm not allowed to level up 5 times, get there, and then have 5 level ups. That's a no-go. Leveling up once I am at Nuka World is of course fine. So that means the gauntlet and the overboss fight completely on the table. Next and final rule is no looting until the Nuka World tram station. You may be wondering what I'm doing right now. I am getting the one exception to this rule. Hi, Cogsworth. The one exception to this rule is this book right here. I am getting it and putting it into agility. I'll go over my build in a moment. Hi again, Cogsworth. You got nothing to say? Okay. No looting until Nuka World Tram. Until I get past the Nuka World Tram. That means I'm not allowed to have anything from the Vault, Sanctuary, other than the book, or anywhere in the Wasteland. That means no guns, no drugs, no junk, and no frag grenades from this trash can. Very unfortunate, I know. To facilitate this, I'm using the Start Me Up mod that I showed briefly. The Start Me Up mod allowed me to build a character without having to go through the entire intro. So it just saved me some time. And yes, technically, I could have started in Nuka World with the mod. The first part of the challenge is just getting there. And here's part of the challenge already. So, what exactly is this challenge going to entail? No stim packs until I get there. Meaning if one of these dogs bites me, it's going to be pretty permanent. Next thing that this challenge entails, I'm not allowed back in the Wasteland. That XP is unfortunate. I'm not allowed back in the Wasteland until the Raider quest calls for it. Which means no bobbleheads, no guaranteed legendaries, nothing of the sort. I am going to be stuck with what I can get, where I can get it, in Nuka World. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. It may take several tries to get to Nuka World, but since we're not in survival, we don't have to start all the way back from the beginning. We can already hear some gunshots in the distance, which is a great sign. But yes, like I was saying, this may take several tries. It may... Hello? Are we... Ah, settlers. Fantastic. No looting. I try to avoid these locations to avoid XP as much as possible. So, those unfamiliar with Nuka World may be wondering what the big challenge is. Well, first of all, if you've ever been to Disney World, it's a life or death situation. Ever more so in Fallout. Now, getting to Nuka World is going to be a bigger challenge than it sounds. Mainly because of one thing. And here is the fantastic Nuka World tram station that we have to get inside. There is an Assaultron, laser head and everything, guarding the NukaWorld tram station. That is going to make things exponentially difficult. There's the entrance of the tram station. Now, it's not just an Assaultron. There's also going to be a number of raiders. So we're going to go ahead and start sneaking. We're going to try to make our way around and up.
No one investigates that signal until this place is secure. If I see anyone violate protocol and enter that transit station before we're set, I'll have your head. Now pick up the pace. I want to be able to report back to Cyprus ASAP.
Yeah, so people are angry, as usual in the wasteland.
What?
Nothing. I'm in danger. Whoop! There's the Assaultron! And I believe the Assaultron follows us in here. So we're gonna hide. Yep, there it is. Excuse me, sir. And there is our first death. So as you can see, very difficult. Very, very difficult to get through there. I'm going to go ahead and cut until I am back at the NukaWorld tram station. If anything interesting happens between now and then, we'll both see in the final cut. That's bad. That's very bad. Hi, friend. This gives me an idea. That's something you have to learn about Fallout and surviving in the wasteland, is not every threat is inherently a bad. This one, for instance, might give us an opportunity. Unless it's just given up. Which is also a good thing. We're just going to keep going.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Amen.
Find peace with the Lord.
Alright, everyone. Ready for attempt number 2? I made a safety save just outside of here, so I don't have to do the trek back every time. That Radscorpion is still out there somewhere. So we'll just have to keep that in mind.
We're set. I'll have. Now pick up the pace. I want to be able to report back to Cyprus ASAP. Ooh.
That did not go well. Now, there are a lot of easier ways to do this.
No one investigates that signal until this place is secure. If I see anyone violate
There are a lot of easier ways to do this. One is not being followed by a Radscorpion.
I'll have.
2 is
Now pick up the
lockpicking
I want to be able to report
here,
back to Cyprus ASAP.
but I can't. No perks, no lockpicks, none of that. Go away. I'm surprised that worked. That didn't work. Hi, friend. Wow. That was a fantastic shot. Once again into the breach.
Ambush. Defensive protocols engaged.
That's bad. Who? No. I'm better than this. I don't need the duct tape. Excuse me, sir. Requires key. That guy has the key. Ooh, a death fan. No. We're better than this. We have rules. Are they gone?
All my fault. Here, right.
Dialogue. Thank you for the now successful run around here. Past the Assaultron. There we go. Now that we have successfully made it to what is going to be the beginning of the challenge proper, my build. This is what I've gone with. And I can explain it very simply. Strength 6, strong back. Very useful for just generally very useful. The other perks, armor and maybe blacksmith, are very useful. If I find myself using melee, big leagues, of course. Perception 5, rifleman, pickpocket, maybe not pickpocket, but definitely rifleman and locksmith and demolitions expert. 3 of my favorite perks right there. Endurance 3. Endurance I didn't really need, but it gives me more health and more action points, of course. So toughness is nice, and life giver if we're in a pinch and need some more health. Charisma 3, just because of Lone Wanderer. Easy as that. Intelligence 6 for the hacker perk, the scrapper perk, the science perk, of course gun nut. Neither of those really. And the experience point gain is very useful. Agility 5 because I like sprinting everywhere and sneaking, but it also gives gunslinger, commando, sneak, and most importantly, action point for more action point regeneration. And luck 1 because I ran out of points. Earlier you saw me pick up the special book and put it into agility. That's because I really wanted action point. Now, with that out of the way, we have no perks. We are level 1. We are that far away from a level up, so we're quite close. We are quite close. But more importantly, we are not there, so the challenge may begin.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténgase alejado. Hello, and on behalf of the
And here we
NukaWorld
are.
Corporation, we'd like to welcome each and
Not
every
that way.
one of you
This way.
aboard the Nuka Express monorail.
On your right, you will see
Please remain
not much, mainly smog and walls, but are we done? Tour over? Oh,
Harvey bagged another sucker to help his family. Can't believe that gag still works. I only got a minute, so you better listen, and listen good. Name's Gage, Porter Gage, and the truth is you've been set up. This ain't no rescue mission. It's a death trap.
fair.
But if you somehow make it through alive, I have an interesting offer for you. In the meantime, have fun and put on a good show. I'll be watching.
We'll kill him later.
We are now arriving at the station.
Maybe.
Please
I
be
don't
sure
know.
to collect any children and personal belongings before exiting the Nuka Express.
Attention all my favorite undesirables out there. In case you haven't noticed, looks like we got ourselves some fresh meat to run the gauntlet.
Now the question is, what perk will help us through the gauntlet? Ideally, we would get a perk that would help us both in the gauntlet and outside of the gauntlet. So, perks that help us outside of the gauntlet. Gun nut, armor, things like that. Things that help us inside the gauntlet. Maybe demolition expert, but that kind of helps with both. Things like that. But we are going to go with my favorite perk, Lone Wanderer. We take less damage and our carry weight increases without a companion. I don't plan on using a companion this run, so it just makes sense. And with us beginning the gauntlet, that is where I'll end episode 1.